Hello and welcome to Dan Talks United. Carrick's at the wheel. Come on. It's Carrick. Come on. 3-2 at the Emirates. Who would have known? Beating the league leaders, the Gunners. Come on. Carrick's at the wheel. How good does it feel, everybody? Does he sign the contract now? Come on, sign him up. Sign him up. Let's not wait till the end of the season. Sign him up. But anyway, let's calm down. No, let's not calm down. Come on. United. Fucking get in. Anyway, stop swearing. We've beat the Gunners. The Arsenal. We've beat Mikel, our shitter. We've beat him. I won't say too much now because obviously I still think Arsenal will win the league. But for today, we are the ones today. But definitely, what a game. What a game at the Emirates. Wasn't sure what to expect. I did say it was going to be 2-2. I said it was going to be a draw. But I'm happy to be wrong. I'm always happy to be wrong when we win. And yes, Alex from the Football Brotherhood, you was right. You called it. You said we was going to win. And you also said that our front line's better than Arsenal's. And who could argue today? So when you get over to his channel or get over to TikTok, he's getting loads of shit from the Gunners, from the fans for Arsenal, saying that he's talking a load of shit. But our front line was better than yours. We scored your first goal as well. It was own goal from Martinez. Unfortunately, Scholes and Buttle think that they're right, but it's all about the win. But let's have a look at the comments so far. So I've got comments from SJ there. Said it on David Speaks Football show that we were going to get the win. David, where you at, David? I was signing Carrick up, David. He's going to get the job. Your worst fears are coming alive. SJ there as well. Stay positive. Said we'd get the win, and definitely did we get the win today. And I think we'll get into it, but I definitely think that we deserved it today. I think in terms of going forward anyway, we're much the better team. Don't get me wrong, we were under the cosh for a lot of periods in that game in regards to Arsenal, because they're always going to come at you. But one thing I will say though, I didn't feel that they were going to score in open play. But definitely it was nerve-wracking when they were getting corners and free kicks, because we know how good the Gunners are at set pieces. They're the set piece kings. And what do you know? They did score sort of from set pieces in a sense there. So we always knew that we'd probably concede. I knew that we weren't going to get a clean sheet. And like I say, the 2-2, glad it was wrong. But obviously I knew there was going to be not a high scoring, but I knew there'd be a few goals in it. So in the end, there's 5-goal thriller there. But it's always nice to get that sort of it wasn't quite last minute, but to get that sort of winner towards the end where there's no real comeback. But referee, 7 minutes added on. I mean, fucking hell, that was torture, sort of waiting through that 7 minutes. But I talked about the dark arts of Casemiro. Well, Cunha, it must be a Brazilian thing, because Cunha was showing the dark arts himself, and he was getting fouled, he was staying on the floor, he was taking the sting out of the game, and that's exactly what you need in these sort of games, especially when you're playing against a team like Arsenal. And Arsenal would do the same if they was in that position themselves. Don't particularly think that Arsenal were that great going forward, but again, it's still Arsenal. They're still a tough team to beat. This is why I didn't see this happening, especially against Arsenal when we beat City. Must admit, I didn't think we'd beat City either, but we did beat City well. This game, I didn't think the control was much there, but we still beat them, and I still feel that we deserve that win. But yeah, let's just get into things anyway. Please put your comments in. How do you feel about the win? Should Carrick stay at the wheel? Should Carrick be our permanent bus driver? Tell me in the comments, would you want him to sign the contract now? Is it too early? But obviously, it's all about the euphoria. It's all about beating City. It's all about beating Arsenal at their place. I think it's been a while since we've done that, and I don't think they've lost at Emirates for a while either. I know that Villa's beaten, but I'm not sure where that was. So they are, as we all know, a good side this season. And you can't ask any more from Carrick. He's doing his job so far. He's doing the job that he's been employed to do. Not giving you any credit though, Ineos, because you're not getting any credit for this shit because you guys kept hammering in the job probably too long and fucked about. So it's all on you. So if Carrick saves you this season, then I'm giving all the credit to Carrick. Do we keep him out in the season? Let's keep that conversation for another time. But for right now, as I keep saying, I'll sing the songs. It's Carrick. I'll sing the songs. If Carrick's at the wheel for now, but let's just sort of keep the powder dry. We've got to see what the next game holds. I've always said, though, we've got to see what happens when we play against a team that plays a low block and see whether we can unpick the lock on that one. So obviously when you're playing against teams like City and Arsenal, they're going to attack you and you can sit back, you can hit them on the counter and we can show our strength. So can we do that in our next match? Who knows? But anyway, let's get into it. Let's just sort of talk about that first half to begin with and let's just simmer it down. No, let's not simmer it down. Let's keep going. But anyway, first half then. First goal, I must admit, it was a nervy thing for me. Most fans were probably a bit nervous playing against Arsenal. You don't know what to expect. You don't know if they're going to kill us on set pieces, I keep saying. However, obviously getting that first goal for Arsenal where it's come off Martinez's foot. I mean, yes, he could have been stronger there. Yes, he could have been a bit more decisive. Do agree with that. And yes, Scholes and Nicky Butt are probably going to think, there you go, this is what we're talking about. He's spoken to earlier, want to come round to his house and have a cup of tea and all this bullshit. But anyway, it's one of those things. These things do happen. I think overall, Martinez did all right defensively. Liked his little tussles as well with Gyökeres, but we'll come on to that. But yeah, so they get that first goal after 29 minutes where it comes off Martinez's sort of back heel in a sense and into the net. Not much that Le Mans could do about that. And then you're thinking, oh no, we're down 1-0 against Arsenal at home. They're going to control the game. They've got most of the possession of the ball. What's going to happen now? And to be fair, we kept going. We were pressing. And then Zubamende. They've all been sort of waxing lyrical about this guy. I'm not saying he's not a good player. He seemed to play a decent game here and there. However, tried to play too cute, too nice at the back, and too many passes. Tried to be clever, and he's a sort of a wayward pass. And Mbumo latches onto it. Nice little rounding of the keeper and sort of chips it in between the keeper and one of the defenders that were rushing back. I don't know if it was Timber. So a nice equaliser there before half-time, exactly when you want it as well to get back into that game. And obviously then Carrick can bring the boys into half-time and give them a bit of a pep talk and sort of get them back out there for the second half. But nice to see that we've come back so quickly as well. Yes, it was a bit of a gift, but I suppose at the same time we gifted their first goal as well. So honours even, couple of mistakes apiece there. So then getting into the second half then, sort of an unchanged lineup. I think, was it unchanged for both sides? I know that Carrick didn't make any substitutions anyway, wanted to go with the same side. Going into that second half, I think that I would expect actually that Arsenal would have sort of pressured us a bit more, and it felt like we were starting to get control of the game a little bit. I don't know what people think. Again, put your comments in below. There's a few people that have arrived now watching, so please put your comments in. Tell me how you feel the game went. But yeah, I think the second half we sort of settled down a little bit. I think that equaliser gave us a little bit of confidence, gave us that opportunity to sort of settle our minds down a little bit, because obviously if you go into that half-time interval where you're 1-0 down, obviously you want to come out and try and get the equaliser, but I think it's even better, isn't it, when you get that equaliser before half-time. So, like I was saying, I think we sort of control the game in bits and pieces. I think we was definitely what was happening as well, though. Arsenal were making a lot of mistakes. I think we could have probably pounced on some of the mistakes a bit earlier on. However, we continued to sort of attack them. Obviously, we were sitting deep at times, but then hitting them on the counter. And it's all about being decisive in the forward play. And I think maybe there's one or two opportunities where we could have done a little bit better. But anyway, it's all about the sort of intricacies between Dorgu and Bruno. Some nice sort of one-touch, 1-2s between the two of them. And then it sort of releases out to Dorgu with Bruno's touch to him. And then sort of on the half volley, just hits it and sort of curls away from Raya into the top corner. It's a bit of a Tony Yeboah-esque type goal. So for you people that are old enough to remember that, it's sort of famous for scoring off the crossbar. Lovely finish from Dorgu. Ballon Dorgu. I mean, obviously, I'm not really saying that is what people are saying, but let's call it Ballon Dorgu. Hits it top corner off the crossbar. Beautiful goal. And that's all you can ask for. We pressured them, and that's the results that you get from the pressure. But also, it was nice. It's nice to sort of score a nice goal against a team like Arsenal, because it's not always something that you expect. And again, it's not really a sort of a transition sort of counter-attack goal. It was nice, intricate play in the centre of the park there, and then unleashed a shot just outside the box. There was trying to say it was a handball, but he kept his hand behind his back. It flicked up, yes, but it came sort of off his side, so it didn't touch his hand. So again, it's one of those where you're thinking, oh shit, VAR's getting involved here, but it didn't touch his hand, so the goal stands. And then that's where it gets a bit tricky then, because when Arsenal then get their second goal through Moreno, I think it was, just to draw it 2-2. And again, it was a bit of a scramble because we were giving a few sort of set pieces away to Arsenal. You know what they're like, the dangers with set pieces. And again, people, don't be shy. Put your comments in. Please tell me what... Yes, Christian. Congrats, mate. Deserved the win. Only one team tried to score from open play. That's very true, Christian. So that's Christian from the Football Brotherhood. Is a Man City fan, so he'll be happy about that. And his brother Alex is a Man United fan. So interesting sort of duo there of brothers supporting the opposite ends of Manchester. But yes, good comment there from Christian. Definitely puts you guys back into the race a little bit there, because it halts the Gunners' sort of lead there at the top of the league. So yes, definitely, I agree with you there, Christian. I think we were the only team that were trying to score from open play. I don't feel that we were trying to do anything like they were doing in terms of trying to bum a few corners. They were definitely doing it all the time, where they're sort of going down the wing. You could see Saka's trying to jink a little bit, but he wants it to be played off somebody. You can almost see that they're trying their best to get the ball played off someone's leg or someone's toe so they can get a corner. And you just think to yourself, this is the team that's at the top of the league doing these bum tactics. It's like, this is Burnley stuff. This is Sean Dyche stuff. It's like horrible. And it's like, I get it. And I always say you want Man United to be better at set pieces, and that's both defending and attacking. So you've got a little bit of an extra way of scoring, and you don't mind that. But it just felt like the whole game, and like I say, I think Christian's nailed it there by saying that they're trying to score from set pieces. And just think, you're Arsenal. You're the mighty Arsenal. You've been known throughout the years for really sexy football and the way you play. And I think this is what you're resorting yourselves to, is to score from set pieces. Like, come on. Especially us, where Man United, we've been shit. Come on. There's no excuses here. But anyway, we've got a little bit of a interim bounce there, interim coach bounce. And do we give any credit to the staff? Let's give some credit to the coaches as well. But anyway, we won't go too much into that. That's one's for you there, David, with Woodgate. Don't know how much Woodgate's got to do with this, by the way. But Stevie Holland. But anyway, yeah, it's, again, great to win. But after that second goal from Moreno, I'm just thinking, here we go. It's even going to be... Because at that point, you're thinking Arsenal are in the ascenders there, and you're just thinking, yeah, they've just drawn it level there. They're going to go on. Their fans at the Emirates are just going to will that ball into the back of the net, and that's going to be it. And it was getting a little bit nervy and a bit twitchy. But then, Cunha, and I've already said it, Cunha, take a bow, son. So as soon as he got that ball and he was driving into the centre, I just said, you know what, I don't really like our players shooting from outside the box too much, but I could just feel it. I could just feel Wolves in Cunha, that Cunha Wolves coming out of him. And yes, he unleashes a shot, and it was a nice curling effort past Raya. It goes round, I think it was Gabriel, so he was a little bit unsighted and curls it nicely into that bottom corner. So I don't know if Steve's watching, but Steve, who's a Wolves fan, that one is a nice gift from you to get Cunha from Wolves. But thank you for that, Steve. Stevie Boy Richards. And yes, we've got Aaron in the chat there. Get in, exactly, get in, get in. Brilliant stuff, massive win, and you're right there, Aaron. It is a massive, massive win that, because that puts us. I mean, I was coming on to all that sort of stuff, but this stream's going to be all over the place because it's all about the win. It's all about the joy. It's all about the shock, because I am shocked that we've beat them. I did think we'd make a good account for ourselves. I did think we'd be in the game. I did think that would be very similar to the City game, because they're kind of play in that sort of manner where you expect Arsenal and City to have most possession. So you're expecting to sit back, sit deep, be disciplined in defensive shape, and then when you've got the opportunity, get forward as quickly as possible. And that's how Carrick set up again, and that's why he's put Sesko back on the bench, or left Sesko on the bench, should I say, and he's gone with the same team. So that's what it's all about. So yes, Christian again. So true, I can't get behind a team that tries to win a league in this fashion. You didn't see the great City and United sides relying on set pieces and wasting time on goal kicks. And this is the thing, and throw-ins as well. This is the thing. It's like, I give the Gunners credit because they've been gearing up to this, and I don't know if they're going to win it yet, guys. I don't know if they're going to win it yet, but they've been gearing up to this. They've been finishing sort of second most seasons now for the last few seasons, and they have played nice football. And they've got really good players. I'm not going to take that away from them. I really like a lot of their players. But I've got to go back and sort of shout out Alex again from the Football Brotherhood about the comment. And some people might think it was a wild take to say that we've got the better forward players. But I agreed with him at the time and in that stream. But all we can say is that is looking very much true, because their players didn't do anything today. And obviously, Gyökeres, who we wanted, apparently, who went and he picked Arsenal instead, he did nothing today. And I think Martinez chokehold him as well, a bit of a WWE stuff that he did to him. But yeah, he didn't get a sniff, and I think he got played through. It might have been offside, but I don't think he knew it. And I don't know if that was a shot, but he better say that was a cross. It shouldn't be. If you're played through one-on-one with a goalkeeper, that was Timberland stuff, and I think David said that about Timberland boots, because that was shocking shot, and I'm glad he did, but it was shocking. But yes, Christian, you're dead right. This isn't the sort of thing you want to see from a team that's going to win the league. If there's any Gunners in here, tell me what you think. But yes. But anyway, coming back to Cunha's goal, that was a beautiful goal. That was just chef's kiss type stuff. That was unbelievable, and obviously I wasn't expecting the win, like I keep saying, but that was a beautiful strike, and it was well deserved for the winner. That, and again, his celebrations, his smile, everything about it just deserves it, and that's the sort of goal you want to score. That's the sort of goal that is worthy to win a match, not these fucking set pieces. Get the words out. Not these set pieces, not these freaking corners where they're just like crowding around the goalkeeper, fouling the goalkeeper, all this rubbish, and trying to get Gabriel to go around the back and just get a sneaky little goal. It's boring, it's shit, and we don't want teams winning in that manner. So today, football won today. Football won today. And it's so good to see that a team that actually wanted to win, and obviously we talk so much about possession. We talk so much about when a team's got so much more possession and plays the ball around and all this sort of stuff. It's great. But if you've got a team who, yes, we did sit back in parts and in places, but it's all about when we're going forward, we're positive. We're positive, we're wanting to score. We wanted to score a direct goal, whether it be a through ball into the area, whether it's a goal from outside the box, and that's 2 goals today outside the box. And then, like I said, the first finish from Mbeumo was a lovely finish. So those 3 goals, when you compare them to Arsenal's goals, that's the sort of goals that Arsenal should be scoring for me. But they're resorting to set pieces. But anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, as SJ saying there, dream goal. And yes, it was a dream goal for Cunha. Boyhood Manchester United fan. You love to see it. You love to see the joy in his face. You love to see all the players around him. You know what it means to them, and that's what it's all about. And Casemiro, he makes me laugh, that guy, and he's all over it. And like you can see on the thumbnail, the celebrations, that's what you want to see. It reminds me of when Rio used to do it when we used to score, and he'd be jumping on someone's back. probably jumping over at ref or whatever. So that's the sort of thing you like to see. But United. But yes, getting back into the analysis, because that's what it's all about as well. So, like I say, getting that goal and then that 7 minutes, and I've said this already, referee, I'm not sure what I think about this referee today, but adding that 7 minutes on as well, I think that was just criminal stuff. But we got through it, lads. We got through it and we got the win. And it was Ballandorgu. What a finish. Just a shame, because I think he got injured. If anybody's seen anything since, please let me know in the comments. But I think Dorgu was injured. It looked like he'd done his hamstring there, which is a massive shame, because obviously he's on form. He's got a couple of goals since Carrick's been here. And if he's out for the next match, that would be a massive, massive shame. I know we've got a break at some point, I think, because obviously we're not in the other competitions, and I'm sure there's a bit of a break after we play Fulham, so we'll see if he's back by then or not. But like I say, going back into that second half, they reacted to our second goal, I believe, and they put on four. It was the second goal, I'm sure it was, and they put on 4 players, 4 subs straight away. Gyökeres enters the pitch. And you're thinking Eze, and you're thinking Noni Manduic and stuff like that. You're thinking, oh shit, because there were so many attackers on the pitch, and I thought, we're going to concede here, lads, we're going to concede. But we held out, we held on, and we got the win. And that's the main thing. But yes, those two, I mean, I was worried, again, like I say, because of Gabriel and Saliba, top centre-backs. But today, it was all about Cunha. It was all about Mbumo. It was all about Dorgu today. But yes, the momentum definitely, very strange actually, because going back to the first half, how that momentum shifted. They scored first, but then the momentum seemed to shift our way, and we were just carving open the best chances. Because like I say, all they had, and it was really shit to see, that all they had was just, again, Saka or whoever else going down the wing and sort of trying to get a corner. It's absolutely pathetic. But anyway, like to sort of quickly do it and quickly look at some stats, but we won't stick too much onto that. So as you can see there, on the left-hand side there's Arsenal, and our side on the right-hand side there. So possession-wise, it's ended up with 57% possession for Arsenal to our 43. But again, in terms of chances, very similar. You've got 1.20 there and 0.73 for us. Obviously, we've got 2 crackers, so they probably won't come up as expected goals. 15 total shots to 10. So everything's pretty much sort of level there in a sense. So then let's have a look at the table. That's what's important there, everybody. We've gone up to 4th, or in 4th there, so we've sort of leapfrogged Chelsea and Liverpool there. So I think Chelsea did get a win, but we've leapfrogged Liverpool after their loss. So it's good to see that Liverpool lost, but obviously City won. So there we go, Christian, you've got a win there. And obviously you're just behind Arsenal. So can you chase them down? Will they bottle it? That's the question. I don't know if you're still in here, Christian, but do you think Arsenal are going to bottle this now? Do you think that's enough to sort of derail their season? It would be quite funny to say that they're quite in pole position in the Champions League and the league, and obviously they're still in both cups, I believe. So will it derail their season? But anyway, for the people that are in the chat, people that are watching, should I say, please put your comments in. Please tell me how you feel about Carrick at the wheel. Tell us how you feel about it. How do you feel about the game? The euphoria of Manchester United going down to London town and beating the Gunners at the Emirates. How do you feel about it? Because I'm still on cloud 9 and still can't believe it, should I say. So anyway, come on, let's keep the energy up. We've won. Come on. We just got, Fulham next. So we've got to beat Fulham. But this is going to be the first test for Carrick. This is going to be the first test, because I know Fulham can play, but you would expect, and I'm sure it's at Old Trafford, you would expect that Fulham will sort of sit deep here and there. So can we break them down? This is going to be the first test for Michael Carrick. Can we do it? Now, obviously, if we can start to break down low blocks, I'm going to be more inclined to think about that, sign the paperwork. But I mean, it's going to be very difficult because we've been talking about this recently. It's going to be very. What do you guys think? Come on, put your comments in, Aaron, if you're still there. What do you think about Carrick at the wheel? Would you want him to stay, or do you want to get an elite named coach? Do you want to get a top coach like an Enrique, for example, or would you stick with one of our own, one of our legends? But anyway, let's get into the strong performers and the man of the match. So I'll start off with the strong performers, but people, please join into this. So I'm going to start off with strong performers first, and then we'll come on to man of the match. So if you want to start putting in your comments of who you think played well, and then go on to who you think I keep saying man of the match. It's player of the match these days. But anyway, man of the match. So strong performers, to be fair, very easy, because I think, to be honest, most of the team did their jobs. Even Dallo did okay at times. So most of the lads did their jobs. So there's nobody that I'm going to say played horrible or anything, or underperformers as I call it. But in terms of standouts, got to talk about Mbeumo. I think he played well. A little bit disappointed that he came off a bit earlier. I think he was a bit shocked that he got subbed on for Cunha, but it made Carrick look like a genius because he'd taken Mbeumo off, and then Cunha comes on and scores that winner. But yeah, Mbeumo, I think he played decent today. That goal was exquisite as well. So much composure, because I've been getting on to Mbeumo. Not that I'm saying he's crap. I think Mbeumo's a really good player. Glad that we signed him. It was just that it was dipping a little bit, and I was really worried he was getting caught up in the shit wave that we can throw at our players when we buy them, because we can buy a really good player and then turn him into shit very quickly. So I was worried he was infected by the shit that you can get at Manchester United. But no, he's done a bit of a turnaround. He scored in the last game. He scored in this game. And again, for someone that's not really been on form, to score in that manner with so much composure, so much where he's just thought, I'm going to round the keeper and then just make sure I score. Because he could have hit it first time potentially, but no, he's dropped his shoulder, he's put the keeper on his ass. The keeper's tried to nick it from him, but he's just chipped it over his hand. So a lovely goal. Then I'm going to shout out Le Mans, because again, I've been on Le Mans as well. Not on him in the sense of think he's crap and all this sort of stuff. He's a young keeper. He's coming in his first season. There's been a lot of upheaval in the sense of obviously coach being sacked and stuff like that. But I think since his debut, he's shown some really good signs. I'm not going to say he's the next De Gea. I'm not going to say he's the next Van der Sar or anything like that. But he's shown some worth there. He's definitely much better than, I keep calling them the two stooges in Bayern, and what's that guy called that's gone to Turkey? What's his name again? Onana, that's his name. Yeah, exactly. Much forgotten. Christian there. Dorgu's superb, sort of Meno as well, winning with them duels and quick, sharp, progressive passes. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, when I was watching it, I was thinking that Meno was a little bit quiet, but it's one of those where I think if I watch the game back without the emotion, I can actually calmly watch the game back. Obviously, I know the result now, so I can be calm. I think I'll probably see a bit more of what you're saying there, Christian, because sometimes it's very interesting when you're watching a game and neither side is your team. You do see different things as well. But again, you see different things anyway as different people. So, but no, it's good that you said that, because I'll be watching highlights and looking back at that. But yeah, I mean, again, I didn't think he played badly. It just seemed like he was a bit quiet and not quite as at it as he was against City. But maybe he's a little bit tired because he hadn't been playing, and he did put a lot of effort in against City, so I'm not going to get on him. But I'm one of the people that said Meno is a class act. He's come through our ranks. He's a Manchester United fan. He wanted to stay. It was always sad that Amarim was not starting him or even playing him, should I say. And yeah, don't get me wrong, we've got decent players there, but in terms of his technical ability and his ability to keep the ball, keep possession, and he can tackle as well, and he can press, I just think it was criminal not to play him and fit him in. But again, when you play the system that Amarim played, there wasn't really, you could say there was no room for him. But again, as I've said before, to put Bruno back in his familiar number 10 role, to have Meno in there with Casemiro, who's a class act himself with a lot of experience, it's worked. We've played against the two best teams in the league, and we've come away with 6 points. And before a ball's kicked in either game, you're probably thinking at best you're coming away with 2 points. So to come away with 4 more points than expected, and I don't think there'll be many people that thought we were going to beat both sides. You might see us beat City and think we'll beat Arsenal, but you never thought that before. So, he's played in midfield where Amarin thinks he's not good enough. 2 wins, 6 points. And again, both maybe City weren't at the best, but they're both the number 1 and number 2 best teams in the league right now. So there you go. So so Le Mans, like I say, had a good game today. I know obviously he's conceded 2 goals, and I get that. And again, that'll be why he wouldn't get man of the match for me, obviously. But he played really well, and I think he was really good at corners as well. I think he was getting crowded out here and there, but he was way stronger than Bayindir would have been, and way stronger than Onana would have been. So in terms of just getting up there, he's used his height, he's used his strength, he punched a few away as well. It's not easy to defend against Arsenal at set pieces. It really isn't. It's a tough ask. And they score a lot of goals from set pieces, so you can only give him credit. There's a couple of times where he's sort of popped the ball around the corner, saved it round the post and that sort of thing. I think he claimed well again, which he normally does anyway. It's very rare that he drops the ball, to be fair. He normally claims the ball quite well. He gets up high. He commands the area pretty well, so can't fault him in that sense. It's just unfortunate that he's conceded a couple of goals. I'm trying to think if he could have done much. Maybe he could have done for Marino's goal because it was a bit of a scramble, but there were so many people around. And for me, you've got a couple of our players that are sort of on the line, and they probably should have done better to keep the ball out. And it is, defending is a team thing, and you can't just expect Le Mans to do everything at corners, so you've got to get in there. So unfortunate for him. I'm going to say that he probably couldn't stop any of the goals that we conceded, and I think he did well in everything that he did. Other than that, his kicking was pretty good as well, considering there was some dodgy pass backs I felt to him, some like from Shaw at times and Dallow and stuff like that. There was some dodgy pass backs to him, and I think he dealt with them well because he's both footed as well. You can see he's quite comfortable on his right and left foot, so that was good to see as well. Moving on to Casemiro, again, I'd probably still say he played better against City, and I think he put a lot of energy into that. And I think it was a little bit more about running around City, because I think as much as the possession stats probably say a bit different compared to this game, it felt like there was a bit more running done from him. I mean, I could be wrong. We look at the running stats, it could be different, but it felt like they ran a bit more in this one. So I think Casemiro, again, played well. I think he still did a lot of the clever things as well. He was a nuisance in their box at times. He defended our box pretty well as well. I think his passing were decent. I think a lot of things were going through Casemiro at times as well. So I think he played well today. And then I'm going to shout out Maguire because I think he got his head on a lot of stuff as well. The slab head, he got his head on a lot of stuff. He was heading things away out of our area. He was defending pretty well. The only thing I'd say, though, because I'm sort of screaming at the TV, and I don't know what you guys think, but I'm screaming at the TV because when the ball goes to him, I just feel that he is a little bit slow on the ball. And I want him just to speed things up a little bit. There's so many times where you've got someone like Ahmad or Mbouma or whoever it is out wide, and maybe Dorgo on the other side, where I just think you either pass it down the line to them quickly so that they can attack, or you switch it. Or even if you're not confident doing that, just pass it to Martinez a bit quicker so that he can play through the lines, because Martinez is excellent playing the ball through the lines. Excellent at that. He almost does it like a midfielder, really. So, or a number 10, to be fair, the way he plays the ball through the lines. So he didn't always get it off all the time in this game, because I felt like there was probably occasions where he wasn't getting the options and people weren't quite stood in the right place for him to play the ball through the lines. But again, it's Arsenal. They close off passing lanes pretty well, and you've got people just buzzing around like Jesus and Declan Rice and you name it. So they close off space quite well. So you can't sort of fault him for that. But yeah, the only thing I'd say about Maguire today is that he could just probably up that tempo in the passing. Now, as I was saying, we're going to move on to the man of the match now. So people that are in here, People that are watching, please put your comments in. I'm going to hold off a couple of seconds. Just want to see what you guys think. Please tell me who's still in here. Come on, Christian. Come on, SJ. Come on, Aaron, who's been chatting so far. Please tell me who you think the man of the match was. And it's not a trick question, because you could probably have an argument for quite a few of them. You can have an argument for quite a few of them, even the players that I've mentioned so far, because obviously Mbumo getting that first goal, drawing it level, you could say that gets us on the way. Le Mans probably not so much, because he's conceded 2 goals, and then whether you want to sort of say Casemiro or even Maguire, because I think Maguire got it officially. I think Sky Sports gave it to Maguire, which I found a little bit strange, if I'm honest. I mean, if you guys think the same, I want to put it in the comments. I'm not going to argue with you, but I did think it was a bit strange, considering you would have thought one of the goal scorers might have got the man of the match, to be honest with you. And obviously, again, it's always tricky trying to give a defender or a goalkeeper man of the match when we've conceded goals. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's a bit tricky to do that when we've conceded, because ultimately their job is to keep the ball out the back of the net, in a sense. So always a bit tricky to do that. But come on, guys, please put your comments in. Who's your man of the match? But anyway, I'm going to move on to who I think's the man of the match. Well, I say that it's not easy, because I'm almost going to sort of sit on the fence on this one, because I just feel there's 2 players that I'm struggling to separate. I'm not sure which way to go, really. I almost want to give it to both of them. But to be sorry, Cunha, I know you got the winner. It's just feel that you weren't on the pitch long enough. I'm going to give it Dorgu. And that's like 2nd week in a row. But it's purely, again, because we're getting very similar from Dorgu again. He's up and down the pitch. He was attacking. He was being a nuisance to Arsenal. And that goal was worthy of any of the sort of United legends of the past. In fact, I've said it in one of my videos before. It's going back maybe a few weeks ago, where I've talked about, and this is when we were really frustrated under Amorim, I've talked about the league as well, not just Manchester United, the league, and obviously Christian sort of touched on it a little bit with the way that Arsenal have been playing. I've touched on the league where you just don't seem to get those individualistic sort of goals anymore. You don't get those sort of wonder strikes as much. Now, I know that obviously, is it Ramsey? I can't remember which one it is now. That's at Aston Villa. And a couple, I think there's another player at Aston Villa as well, where they've been getting wonder strikes. But generally speaking, you used to get it quite a lot. And if you want to go even further back, when you remember like Scholes hitting one, or Rooney hitting one, or Beckham with those lovely free kicks, you used to get that a lot. You felt like you got 1 or 2 every week. So it's nice to see us chipping in there now, and that goal was beautiful from Cunha. But I'm just going to give it to Dorgu, purely because he was on the pitch longer, until unfortunately it looked like he got injured. And that sort of half volley strike that he did, that Tony Yeboah-esque. And again, if you're old enough to know Tony Yeboah, he played at Leeds, he scored a fantastic goal off the crossbar, and that's where he sort of got it from. Fantastic player in short spurts. But yeah, it just reminds me of those good old days. So SJ there saying it would be Cunha for the dream goal. And yes, I can't argue with that, because, like I say, Cunha, fantastic goal, and he probably does deserve man of the match in that sense, because it's 2-2, comes onto the pitch. And like I say, I'm willing him when he gets the ball into space. And I always say, I hate it when our players have just been whacking balls over the bar or really wide, because I remember Rashford used to frustrate the hell out of me doing that. So many of them were doing it all the time. Sancho were probably doing it at times as well. It was just so frustrating to see. Garnacho was doing it a lot as well, just trying to get that wonder strike all the time. But you could almost feel it. I could feel it. I just knew if he took a strike, it was going in, because he went into space, and I thought, I could just feel Cunha's going to score here. If he hits this and hits this well, it's going in. And what do you know? Curls it in the back of the net, bottom corner. David from David Speaks Football has arrived. Cunha couldn't hit a barn door and goes to puts it through the barn door letterbox. Yeah, exactly. Precise. So you got to give him some credit now, David. If you're still here, you got to give him some credit. I don't know if you watched the match, because I know you was busy again this weekend, but you've missed another cracker if you didn't watch the match, David. Another cracker, because it was a brilliant game against City and another good game again. And I'm going to say Carrick's at the wheel. How good does it feel, David, that Carrick's at the wheel? He's going to sign it, you know. He's going to get it. He's going to get the job. This is your nightmare, David. He's going to get the job, you know. The feel-good factor. Rio's going to be there saying it. I don't know if Scholes and Butt would, because they're a bit miserable bastards, aren't they? But even Keane was sort of saying some good stuff today in the studio about the win and everything and the impact he's had. And Keane's been having, not spats with him because Carrick's not been responding to him, but he's been dissing Carrick's wife. But today he was complimentary. So all the old stars will be coming out. Even Ollie himself, he'll be saying, sign Carricky up, sign Carricky up. He's the man, he's the legend. But yeah, couldn't hit a barn door, as David said, but that was a bit more Wolves-esque to me, because that's the sort of thing. I know he had a lot of shots even for Wolves, I get all that, and obviously I just see highlights and get excited, but that, I'm not going to take that strike away from him. It's pure positivity, David. But yes, how are you feeling now, David? Because I know I said it was going to be a draw, Alex said it was going to be a win, and I think you said it was going to be a loss. And pretty much going to fall off a cliff. But the feel-good factor's there. The songs are out. Carrick at the wheel. It's Carrick, you know. All the songs are out. But anyway, people, please put in your comments in terms of who you think the man of the match is before we go. Interesting to see what you guys think. I went with Dorgu purely because of the length of time he's on the pitch. SJ went with Cunha. Can't really argue because that, and as SJ says there, can't wait for the live tomorrow night, guys. Yes, David. Can't wait. I can't wait for David to sing some songs, be positive, and we might even get him, and Alex might have to help here, we might even get him to sing Carrick at the wheel. You never know. Especially if we start to go on a run. I know it's only 2 games, but last time we said it's only 1 game. Now we said it's only 2 games. Are we going to go on to 3, 4, 5? Who knows? You know what? We might even get a haircut from United Strand. You never know. But you like to see it. You love to see it. Now, obviously, we will cross that Carrick Bridge when we get there. But for now, it's all about the win. So how do you feel, David, my son? Woodgate as one of the coaches, Stevie Boy Holland, who was second to Southgate, and Carrick himself, with probably propped up by Evans as well. That is the dream team. The dream team. He's even having discussions with Wilcox, Barada and that lot about transfers, Carrick. He's having an input. They're gearing him up. They're gearing him up to take charge. I'm telling you, David, it's happening. But anyway, what a win today, though, guys. What a win. Fantastic stuff. It's all about that side. It's all about the badge. United. But yes, good win at the Emirates. Didn't expect it. 4th in the league. Good to see Liverpool and Virgil van Disney twerking again. What shocking defending. And people have got the cheek to compare him to Rio Ferdinand. I mean, don't get me wrong. Every defender, every player makes mistakes, but to compare Virgil van Disney to Rio Ferdinand, legend at Manchester United, legend of the Premier League, and you've got this twerking little shit who thinks he's some... Don't get me wrong, when he first came into Liverpool, good defender, I'm not going to take that away from him, but come on, let's not even talk about this again, seriously, because I saw some of that performance, and it's good to see your rivals lose. Good to see it. You love to see it. But anyway, if there's anybody that wants to put a last-minute man of the match in there, come on, guys, don't be shy. there's no wrong answers here because I think there was quite a few good performances there overall. Like I said, there's people in for a shout like Yakunya, even Maguire if Sky Sports are giving it him. Dorgu for me as well. Maybe even Bruno. Don't know what you think. Casemiro, Mr. Dark Arts himself. So like I said, there's a few good performances around. One or two people think that Mano played well as well. So you tell me. Probably wouldn't be giving it to Sesko if I'm honest. He didn't really do much when he came on the pitch, apart from get the ball whacked in his face. But he almost got an assist, to be fair. But anyway, we've won. It's on to the next. It's on to Arsenal. It's on to Fulham. Sorry. And we can do it again. Let's see if Carrick can mastermind a win against a team that's going to probably play a low block. What do you think? Put your comments in before we go. Aaron there, big shout for Cobby. Yes, big shout for Cobby. And he's, let's just forget about his silly Love Island brother with that stupid t-shirt. Let's get Cobby back in. Get him back into the fold. Get him performing like he's done in the past, where he's stepped up in big games. Is probably, well, I don't know if he'll get into the England squad. I don't know if he's got enough time to sort of change Tuchel's mind. But if he keeps playing well, who knows? But first and foremost, he needs to play well for us. And that's the main thing. Ballon d'Orgu. Are you saying, Aaron, that you're giving Dorgu the man of the match there then? Ballon d'Orgu. Ballon d'Orgu. The big shout. Well, I mean, not saying he'd ever win the Ballon d'Or, but Scott McTominay was in for the run-in, so you never know. You never know. And who would have thought it? Dorgu is, I mean, people are saying Bale 2.0 as well. So people are saying this could be the next Bale, because Bale sort of started off as I think he was on the left, started as a left back or like a wing back, marauding down the wing when he played for Spurs, and then he ended up at Real Madrid and broke all sorts of records and winning all sorts of trophies. So, I mean, I'm not going to go that far because I know that Bale was technically very good and got up to those heights, which you'd expect. If I'm honest, I'm not sure that Dorgu's got that sort of technical ability. I think he's only young though. I think he's only, is it 21? Still young, still got a lot of time to grow, a lot of time to improve, a lot of time to hone his craft. So we'll see. Yeah, Aaron there saying, yeah, he's been class 2 games. He can have it. Yeah, I like to say, might feel a bit crap that I'm giving it him 2 games in a row, but I just thought he played really well against City. I think he's had another good game today. Massive shame that he might have done his hamstring. I'm not sure if he has, but he did pull up and he was sort of holding the back of his leg, so who knows. But that goal, you've got, I mean, everybody that's watching, you've got to get back on your TVs and watch those goals back, because they were fantastic goals. All 3 of them, in their own right, were fantastic goals. And it's just a shame that we conceded 2 shit goals, and I mean shit goals. First one being an own goal. That Moreno goal was just like sloppy and horrendous to see. So we brought the performance. We brought the entertainment today. It's going to be interesting to see all the stuff that's said on stuff like Talk Sport, Talk Shit, or whatever you want to call it. Stick to football, you name it. It's going to be very interesting to see all the reactions around all the opposing fans and what have you. But yes, good to stick the knife in. And I think I need to tune in to AFTV or Troops or all of them, because it'll be interesting. I can sit back comfortably and see people like Ty just going nuts on AFTV or Troops. I just want to see his face. I've not had a chance to see his face yet. So it's nice to have an entertainment coming into channels like this for a Manchester United fan. Dan talks United. It's good to see that side, but it's also good to see the other side when you've got the Arsenal fans crying, and that's what you want to see. And obviously, you could say I'm shameless because we've been crap this season up until now, and we're only 4th. And normally, what I've been used to years gone by is tussling for that first spot, trying to get a Champions League and what have you, and winning FA Cups and what have you, but it's been quite dire. We're not in any cups, and all we've got to play for is to try and get back into the Champions League. Well, anyway, this is the road to try and get top 4. Can we do it? Who knows? So, yes, SJ saying, get in, Alex. So, Football Brotherhood there. I take take back my comment that the attack is better, our defence is better too. I like that. That must be Alex there. I like that. Our defence is better too. One thing I'm going to say there, Alex, and I'm assuming that's Alex, I don't know if I can agree with that because I am being shameless, but I can't lie and say that I don't rate Saliba and Gabriel. I think them two have been fantastic partnerships. I haven't really watched Arsenal in depth to see how good Timber's been, because a lot of people have been talking about Timber being really good, so I've not really been tuning into that. But them two as centre-backs, Raya as a goalkeeper has been pretty good. I don't know if I can go, I am happy, but I don't know if I can join you. Yes, Alex, it's Alex, yeah. I tell you what, though, unfortunately, you've had to take your bucket hat off, because I'm City won, didn't they? But can I join? I mean, I'm on your positivity train, don't get me wrong. And I was saying earlier, because you might have missed it, that we've got to double team David and get him on the old positivity train. The Carrick at the wheel. Carrick at the wheel. That's what we need to get him on that. But I agreed with you that the attack is better than Arsenal's overall. I didn't agree that Ahmad's better than Saka. I didn't agree with that bit, I must admit. But overall, I think our attack, and I did say I wouldn't swap our attack for theirs. And they've got some good players there. But the way that Gyökeres has played, to be fair, Saka hasn't really, his numbers aren't really high this season either. Marino, if you want to call him an attacker, Jesus, he just runs around. He's tricky, but he doesn't really score goals, does he? And that's why City got rid of him. So overall, Trossard, decent player, don't get me wrong, but I think he's more of a super sub Trossard. So, and then Madueke and Eze, good players, don't get me wrong, good players. But for me, in terms of output, in terms of composure, so when you look at our goals from our two of our attackers, although Dorgu's an attacker now, he's a freaking winger. And like you said, Alex, Bale 2.0, when you look at our goals and the composure of the goals, you take Mbumo all day long. You take Cunha all day long. There was none of their players that were going to do that today. And that's one thing I'll say. As much as I was on edge at a lot of the time in the game, none of their players were going to do that from open play. And like I say, Christian's already said this comment about set pieces. And that's what they were going for. We were trying to score in open play, and we did. We got 3 goals in open play. So our attackers won today. Football won today, as I was saying earlier. Joking, mate, but seriously, Cunha, Trossard has aged well. Yeah, like I say, fair play with the banter there. That you're being honest there in saying that their defence is better than ours. It is. But our attackers are better than theirs. Definitely, Odegaard hooked at 54th minute. And Saka shifted to the left wing, proved my point. Yeah, and like I say, it's been said by your brother as well about they were just trying to score from set pieces. They weren't trying to score from open play, and they got stifled. And as much as Saka looked dangerous today, I don't think he had his best game. I'm not saying that Shaw pocketed him. I think he did sort of skip past Shaw a few times. However, I still think he was almost aiming for the bottom of the foot so that it sort of goes out for a corner. I think that is poor, shitty tactics. That I think you've got to use your skill, get into the box, do a cutback, you've got to cross. I don't like this tactic of purposefully going for a corner. I don't get it. Football won today. Yep, exactly. Football won today. You agree. Football won today. And you like to see it. You love to see it. And the worst thing you want to see is that when you've got 2 teams on the pitch, one team's trying to do the sort of boring long throws or corners and trying to, like, Burnley or Stoke City the hell out of the game, and then you've got another team that's playing, okay, we are defending, don't get me wrong, but for me, and I've said it earlier in the stream, that it's not defending in the sense of negativity where you just sat back hoping that they don't score. This is defending in a disciplined fashion. Once you get the ball, it's playing forward positively, quickly, like the old days, and you cannot argue with that. And I don't think there's any Manchester United fan in the land, on the planet, that's going to argue with that. Don't get me wrong, there'll be some fans that want that tiki-taka and they want that Pep-style football. Don't get me wrong, there's times when I wanted that. But end of the day, my thought process, what I want to see is, I'm not saying that we want to be under the cosh, and I don't want to say that we want to be defending all the time, and I don't want to say that we've got less possession every game. But one thing I want to see is what I'm seeing, and that is when we get the ball, we're controlled, we're decisive, and we're scoring goals. I mean, you don't have to score them all from open play, but we're trying to score from open play. We're trying to be positive. We're trying to make sure. And that's what it's all about for me. And the City game and this game encapsulates exactly what I want from my Manchester United team. And like I say, I know we're gassing up Carrick, and I know we're having a bit of fun, and I'm sort of winding up David if he hears it. But the truth of the matter is, Carrick is bringing a little bit of nostalgia back. He's bringing a little bit of what I like to see this team do. Okay, there's probably still not enough wing play and crosses for me, but we'll get there. It's only 2 games in for him. He's not been there that long to instill, I'm going to say, philosophy. I'm going to give him credit because we only give philosophy to foreign coaches. Let's give Carrick some credit. English coach, he's got a philosophy too. And let's not get carried away. I'm not actually saying give him the job now and all this sort of stuff, and that is the best in the world. I'm not saying that. Just very happy with the win. Giving him Carrick some credit, giving him his flowers, and I think he deserves it. And I've got to say it again, football won today, and that's the main thing. From the Football Brotherhood, just looking at the comments here, you're absolutely bang on. Saka playing for corners is all fart, no poo. Saka looks good, but ultimately nothing at the end of it. And that's the thing, to be fair. I mean, I'm not going to say that he's not had end product in the past. I'm just saying, because this is the thing as well. And I'll be honest, I don't get the time to watch every other team in its entirety. So I don't watch full games of the other teams. I watch the full game of Manchester United. And to be honest, before COVID, I never watched another team play because I just felt I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't get myself to watch other teams. It just felt like I was almost like betraying Manchester United, and that's how much I was like all about Manchester United. But when COVID hit, and they were playing behind closed doors, and there was not much going on, I did watch a lot more games than other teams. And I always found it a bit cringy, like watching a Liverpool game, for example. But going back to that now, I don't get the chance to watch full games of other teams, so I can't sort of say that Saka is at it all the time against teams and stuff like that. I see highlights, generally speaking. I see match of the day and that sort of stuff, but I know in seasons gone by, Saka's looked like he's had some really good output, and he's played really well, and he was coming through, and he's played well for England and all that sort of stuff. But when you watch a full game, and this is why I come into my point, is that you get to see the other team in its entirety. And today, as Alex is saying there, and you're right, I didn't see anything from Saka today other than, and it's very sad that you've got a player with so much ability that's actually trying to hit it off the play for a corner. I swear, maybe I'm seeing it wrong, but I've got to watch it back, but I swear that he's trying to get corners all the time. And I think that's absolutely pathetic for a team that's top of the league. I think that's absolutely pathetic to play that way. And everybody's got their own thought process and what they want to see with football. Everybody watches football in different ways. Some people want to see it as tacticos and see it in that manner. Some people just want all the sort of vibes. Some people want to see the end-to-end and what have you, have entertainment. Everybody watches football in different ways, and there's nothing against anybody in which way you watch football. But what I've got to say is, I don't like that. I wouldn't want my team doing that. Now, if you do it for one game, fine, to get you through a game. I don't mind a set piece here and there to get you through a game when you're under the cosh, but every game looking for a set piece, that's if they do that, because I don't watch the Gunners. And if there's any Gunners in here, as I said earlier, correct me if you want. But for now, what I'm seeing today from today's game, I didn't like what I saw today. And I would have been absolutely incensed if we'd have lost that game to them 2 shitty goals as well. That first goal, okay, it wasn't their goal, it was Martinez's own goal, but for him to score 2 shitty goals like that, you don't want to lose to a team that scores shitty goals like that. You want to win. And I think they can admit, because I've not seen any of their sort of post-match interviews, and I don't know whether Arteta's trying to say that the ref didn't call certain things or that we weren't the better team because they had more possession or what have you. But if they're honest, the right team won today in regards to how we played and the goals we scored. That was the right result today. I'm really sorry if there's any Arsenal fans in here. or any Arsenal fans that hear this, the right team won today. And I'm sorry, the right team won today. And that's the way to win a game for me. Right then, it's Sunday, gonna wrap things up then. So as always, thank you for watching Dan Talks United. It's been a cracking end to the weekend. You love to see it. You don't want to go into Monday miserable. You don't want to go into your group chats if you've got opposing fans in your group chats like I do, where you're getting bantered. I've had enough bantering over the last few years to the point where it makes you really miserable. So to get through the weekend in this fashion, to see Liverpool and Virgil van Disney lose, beautiful things to see. And for us to play some part in this Premier League race. I don't know how it's going to pan out, but we stunted City and then we stunted Arsenal. So it's on you two now. It's on City and Arsenal to do something here. And maybe even Villa. I don't know. I'm not sure that Villa's got enough, though, to be fair. But we've blown it open a little bit. And that's what you want to see. You want to see a bit of a competitive edge in this league because, to be fair, I think the standard's a little bit low. There's been a lot of draws. There hasn't really been that sort of... When you look at the league leaders and how they've played today, and I'm only speaking about the match today, so I can't talk for the other part of the season. And obviously, I don't want to hark back to when we played them at Old Trafford, but I don't think you deserve to win the league the way you're playing. If you're playing like this, you don't deserve it. But end of the day, you're top of the league. You've got the points. If you get the win, if you win the league, fair play to you. But I wouldn't be happy with that. So people like Robbie and all those big content creators, if you're happy winning the league in that fashion, that's up to you guys. But again, the right team won today. So just get into the last couple of comments there. So SJ saying 100% right, team won. And then Alex saying there, mate, Saka is decent, but he's not the guy. Them lot think you're spot on, by the way. They generally try to win the corners. Yeah, and that's the thing. And it's just sorry state of affairs when that's the way that you want to win games. And it's really, again, with the players you've bought and the amount of attackers you've got. I mean, there was attacker after attacker coming onto that pitch. Jokeres, there was Manjuik, there was obviously, did Saka go off then? Yeah, or he went onto the other side. But you've got Eze coming onto the pitch as well. You've got all these attackers. You had Jesus that started the game as well. You've got all these attackers. Mourinho's attacker as well. You've got all these players that can score goals, or apparently can score goals. And that's what you muster up, is just set piece where Gabriel gets on the end of it, which he didn't today. And that's the main thing. Nowhere to be seen. Right then, guys, I was saying before, again, thank you for watching Dan Talks United. As always, please like, please share. Please hit that subscribe button because it means so much to channels such as this, just starting out. So it does a lot for us. Please catch me on David Speaks Football's channel as well. And hopefully get another stream going as well, another video going, another live show going with Alex. So we need to keep this up. But please keep supporting all three channels because it really means a lot to us all. So thanks again for watching Dan Talks United. And I will definitely see you on the next one. Come on, let's beat Fulham. Come on, Carrick. Carrick's at the wheel. Tell us how it feels. Come on.